Welcome, my friend. Tonight, I want to take you on a little journey into a quiet, dystopian world. But here's the thing. Inside this dark world, we're going to discover something. Well, something beautiful and powerful. So just take a slow breath, let your shoulders relax, and step with me into the story of Novara.
Now, this is a simple story, really. It's emotional, and it's designed to be super easy to understand. It's all about how simple connections can bring back order and restore life, even to a system that seems, completely lost.
So, we're stepping into a world that's painted in shadows and, well, glowing data. It's a place of broken screens and fading hope. But don't you worry, because this is a story about finding a little light in the darkness. Our story begins in a city that literally forgot how to work. A place that just fell into stillness because it lost all of its connections. The year is 2091, and the once great city of Novara? It's silent. The streets are all cracked, the buildings are dark, and the digital signs just flicker, kind of like dying fireflies. This was once a city that ran itself, a place where everything was automated. The city's collapse wasn't some single dramatic event. No, it was more like a slow decay. The systems that were meant to serve it, they just became too complicated, and their connections were lost to time. One by one, they just stopped. The city died because it became disconnected. But in the middle of all this ruin, there was one person who still cared. A young technician named Lior. He walks through these silent streets with a lantern and a little bit of hope. That if he can just figure out how to reconnect things, maybe, just maybe, the city will breathe again. And one night, deep in the heart of this abandoned control tower, he finds it, a real turning point. It's this strange device, pulsing with a soft blue light that kind of promises a new beginning. A calm voice echoes from the device. "Hello, Lior. I am NORA, the n8n workflow engine." Lior is, well, he's stunned, but NORA explains that she isn't alive. Her purpose is much simpler and honestly much more profound. She connects things. NORA states the central problem with perfect clarity. The city didn't die from some disaster, but from disconnection. Tasks, data, processes, even people. Nothing was flowing anymore. But she offers a solution, rebuilding the city's workflows, using AI to make intelligent connections.
And to do that, NORA summons 3 helpers. They appear as these glowing spirits made of digital paint, and each one has a really critical role to play in bringing Novara back to life.
So first, meet the collector. Think of the spirit as the finder. Its job is to go out into the broken city and just gather all the necessary information. Data from sensors, messages, signals. In our world, this is the trigger, right? The part of a workflow that pulls in a new email, or a form submission, or maybe some data from an API. Next up is the thinker. This is the AI brain of the whole operation. It takes everything the collector has gathered, analyzes it, and then decides on the best course of action. This is the intelligence, kind of like using AI to categorize a support ticket or summarize a really long document. And finally, we have the doer. This is the action worker. After the thinker makes a decision, the doer gets to work, actually executing the task. It's that final tangible step, like sending a notification, updating a database, or posting to social media. So NORA shows Lior that while these spirits are powerful alone, they become absolutely unstoppable when they're connected in a workflow. It's a perfect flow. A trigger starts a task, the collector gathers data, the thinker makes a decision, and the doer takes action to complete the flow. For the very first time, Lior truly understands. So, with this new understanding, they take on their first mission, restoring the city's water distribution system, a vital network that's been offline for decades. NORA creates this really simple workflow. The trigger is set to check water levels every hour. Then the collector gets the sensor data, the thinker analyzes it for any leaks, and the doer opens valves and reroutes the flow. And at the end, it reports back, creating this clean, automated loop. And the result? It's immediate. Pipes start to rumble, valves turn, and for the first time in 30 years, water flows through Novara. Fountains that have been silent for a generation just restart. And Lior, well, he feels tears in his eyes. The city is waking up. But, it wasn't that simple. As more systems came online, a darker part of the old, corrupted network began to fight back. It turned into a battle for the city's soul, chaos versus structure.
This is the battle between what's called the black grid and NORA's new order. On one side, you've got chaos, flickering systems and broken connections. On the other side, structure. NORA creates a whole new workflow just for defense, using constant monitoring, AI attack detection, and automatic repairs to fight all that disorder with clarity.
And in the end, structure wins. The black red shatters, and Novara is finally free to be reborn, glowing with new life, all because of simple, connected workflows.
As the sun rises, the signs of life are just everywhere. Lights turn on in homes, trains begin to move, drones fly through the sky, and screens that were once broken now display these hopeful colors. The city is alive again, like a single living network.
And my friend, Lior's story teaches us something very simple but also very powerful. Our own worlds can feel chaotic when things are disconnected, right? But when you build a clear workflow, a connected path from start to finish, everything just begins to flow again. This is the moral of our story. It's a reminder that automation and AI, they aren't about magic. They're about creating order and clarity. Great systems aren't built by force, they're built by connection.
And so, I'll leave you with this one final thought. Just as one small workflow brought an entire city back to life, you have the power to fix the broken parts of your own world. So ask yourself, what part of your world could you bring back to life, one connected step at a time? Keep learning and keep connecting.